Hey, Glitch. What's going on, everyone? Thanks. So basically, what we'll be working on is trying to get everything that you can see right here done, hopefully today. Hey, Afton. Hey, Will. Hey, Bill. Hi, Elf. Wrong one. We gotta start off with. So I will go over before we do start. Actually, I'm going to start off. These are the supplies that I'll be using. So these are going to be the markers, the color pencils that I'll be using to achieve this. And then these are the Ohuhu markers. Now these are going to be a very strong wide variant of markers that we'll be using because I want to get all the little subtle details, all the little cracks that you're going to see, all the little pithing, which is all those tiny bumps in metal that you see as it gets older. That's just the technical term. It's called pithing. So to achieve that, we're going to have to add a lot of different subtle colors. And then on top of that, we're going to be adding some color pencils, both white and black, which I've got to add these, and then some dark greens as well. And then we're, of course, going to start with the inking process. So let's get to it. Hey, Raz. So if anyone has any art questions, feel free to ask. Go right ahead. I'll ask whatever I can to the best of my ability. Now, you will sometimes see a lot of artists dry out these, I'm sorry, try not dry out, erase out a lot of the dark sketching that I've done. I plan to do that when I get to the markers, but for a lot of the inking stages, because the blacks are very rich, they'll go right over these dark sections and you won't even notice it. Car, what character is that? Is that like from Spronky? Is that from an anime or a game that I maybe don't know? I have not seen the second trailer yet for FNAF 2. I've seen kind of some things across TikTok. You know, I would like them to how do I put it? When we saw the movie, there was certain things that were made for the movie, such as the security guard character. I can't forget her name, but she's like a merge of like two different characters from the games and the books. But I would like them to just bring a little bit more continuity, either make it their own story or make it where it's this is the movie verse, or make it more like, no, we're gonna be more towards the games. Either or is fine. You know, there are a lot of times when you make a movie that's nothing like the books, but then winds up becoming something beloved. But I think fans would probably want to see more of a delineation with that. Oops, sorry, I'm trying to watch chat and then move my image around so that I can see chat a little bit better. So bear with me. I do apologize. There we go. Now let me pull up my image, and now I can see things a little bit better. Okay. Afton, which question was that? Let me check. I'm sorry. You're the only person. Oh, sorry. Well, you know what it is because I don't really remember your name. Will, if you ever did put it in any of my comments, I do apologize. And for those of you who might be new to the channel, I am a primarily self-taught artist. I did work with an airbrush artist for many years in my youth. I've only recently come back to art after about an 8 year hiatus and have been posting on YouTube for the last 2 years as I've kind of rediscovered art. And that's because of my niece who has been in a couple of my videos. I've been teaching her art. So, but once again, yeah, I'm primarily a self-taught artist. Hey, King. Thank you so much, Bella. I'm not much of a reactions guy. I can make reactions, but I tend to be a little too critical on things. So I kind of hold my pause on stuff when it comes to reaction because I love to write. In fact, I am a writer too on top of my artwork. But whenever I like play a game, I sometimes overanalyze instead of just enjoying the fun aspect of whatever game it should be. Or whenever I watch a movie on the car ride home, I'll have to psychoanalyze every little thing, and my wife will be like, "But can we just enjoy it?" And sometimes she agrees, and then sometimes she doesn't. But that is something that I do. So sometimes I don't want to do these like these reactions to stuff. I see like these anime reactions. I'm like, oh, I should do that. And then I'm like, no, it won't work well. You'll come across as that studious guy, like, excuse me, I think this is wrong because in the manga. No, I don't want to do that. Hey, Gabriel. Clark, I use Poscas. I'll use just about anything. So if I really want to get really good control, because Poscas have yet to have uh a brush tip, these ones by Grabby, and this is just my personal opinion, are really good and a heck of a lot more affordable than your average paint pen from Posca. Posca is going to give you really deep, rich tones, but if you're just trying to get into acrylic paint pens and you need to save a bunch of money because they are super expensive, especially Posca, I would definitely grab them. And then they're not sponsoring me. I genuinely like them. You might see me use them a lot. They're great for little fine details. Bell, I am far from a perfectionist. I, in fact, hate a lot of attempts of mine at perfectionism. Though this is realistic, I try not to do as much realism as possible because it really gets you burnt out pretty fast. And basically, to start off this drawing, we're just going to carve out all of the darkest darks. By doing so, one, it resonates really well as an image that you guys are going to be seeing. And two, you can really establish a sense of form. So these are the things that are really sunk back into the page. So as the black comes out, it really gives that nice emotional depth right away. Oh, really, Raz? What do you like to sketch? And sketching is just a really good way to always keep up your drawing skills. If, no, you don't always have to complete something, but if you have an intent and you just sketch a couple of things here and there, you'll actually just get a lot better because you're just working on developing form and function and your hand movement. Oh, really? Who's your favorite character? Thanks, Jackson. Appreciate it. And as people are popping in, because the stream just kind of started a couple minutes ago, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm always here to help with any art question that I can possibly try to help you guys with. Hey, I'm working on a book project called Super Bros. It's an original series that I will be making on my channel. I post a new profile every. Oh, I try. If you're asking me to do a piece of artwork, I had a bad instance with doing lots of artwork like that when I was first growing my channel, so I tend not to do that. That's where you might see like name art stuff that I did back in the past. So I try not to do that. And it's not just for like a commission-based concept, because I feel like a lot of times when people would ask me to draw something, they were asking me to draw it so that they can either A, use it, or just because they wanted me to draw it, and then there was just no interaction. It was just, okay, I'm done, thanks, goodbye, and then they would never really connect with the channel. When you plan art, do you? Okay, so yeah, well, if for something like this particular piece, I did thumbnail sketches first, but I also had a image that I pulled up online as a reference. I do work off of reference. I am not good or well adapted enough to remember every single character from every series that I may or may not have played over the years. So I definitely have to work off of reference. And also, I'm not as adept as drawing off of memory. Some people are amazing at drawing off of memory. I am someone that 100% needs a reference. But I do thumbnail, and if you need or want me to show you what that means, I can express that to you. But basically, it's just a small, tiny little concept sketch, and then you're working out ideas on what you would like it to look like, and then you just go from there. But a lot of times, I'm working just straight off a reference in it, so I don't really need to. But if you see like my four drawing series, yeah, sometimes I'll work off of thumbnails with those. Thanks, Gar. I really appreciate that. Hi, Clover. Catnap is a really cool character. I love the overall designs of probably the smiling critters more than the nightmare critters. And that's because I feel like the nightmare critters were just like, hey, what can we make that looks scary and is the exact opposite of the smiling critters, where I feel like the smiling critters had their own uniqueness to it. I just feel like these band of characters that were in this particular iteration were just thrown in there. You know, like outside of the main two, like you have Doey, you have Pianosaurus, like you have Yarnaby. Everyone loved those, and I feel like the other characters were just like Simon Smoke. Just mostly were just tertiary characters. I mean, like throwaways. You could take them or leave them. Not so much. I feel like with the Smiling Critters, that just could be me. Springtrap, yes, it is. But I have to ask you, do you always come back? Clover from the Undertale Yellow. I have done several of the Undertale characters. I have done Sans. I've drawn Papyrus. So let me look because I do know that many people in my community do love um, the Undertale series and all of the other iterations that have been released. Um, I forgot what they're called. Is it AUs or something to that effect? But yeah, I haven't played Undertale and I can't tell you how long. Now, my primary goal here is the face. See, if I get like this and I can leave it very muted, very little color, that's absolutely fine with me. That's not my goal nor my intention. I always love showing primary focus on the face, and I'll leave everything else really kind of loose. It's not like a big concern of mine, like, oh, it doesn't look as accurate as I might want it to be, because almost like a portrait, or I mean, I'm sorry, like a picture you might see of someone's face. It's really the face that you want to focus on. So if the background is a little blurry or everything else is a little blurry, that's okay. Bonnie is probably my favorite character, but that's just because of like a lore concept. I like the fact that he went down, throwing hands. But per design, yeah, I'd have to say Springtrap has probably one of my favorite designs. I am not a person that draws mechanical very well. This took me a lot longer than it might take any other artist or an artist that per se loves mechanical drawing characters like robotics and stuff. But the overall design is so cool because it has an organic feel. All the bent metal almost gives it a, not to say lifelike, but it gives it a sense of, what's the word I'm looking for? It gives it a sense of soul. And I know that there's a soul inside the character, but like it doesn't just look like your stereotypical robot or animatronic. It looks like a person and it has an organic feel because of all the little bevels and bumps and etc. And as a tip, you can see that I'm constantly moving from one section to another. That's because I am not, and nor would I ever tell any young artist, do not just fill in and speed rush one area. Because if you do that and all of a sudden there's a mistake or you somehow messed up the proportions, like the sketch looked good at first, but as you're filling everything in, it looks a little weird, you can't go back. But as we carve away with these blacks and kind of establish the full form, if something's amiss, we'll know it right away. Hey, Nix. Riley, what's going on? I'm literally walking in right now. Wow, that's amazing. Oh, thank you, Millie. I really appreciate that. Anytime, Rato. If you have any, like I said, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask. I will help you out, like I said, is the best of my ability. And now that we've established all the blacks, I will kind of work a little bit in section by section, primarily focusing on the eyes. That's where I always like to start. Eyes are always like the window to the soul. So I feel like whenever you've established those in any drawing, the rest of the drawing just flows naturally. So now we have to determine what color to use as a baseline. Clover, by pixel art, do you mean like uh we like it has like the grid and it looks like the 4-bit stuff. A great way is to just draw it out and then pre-measure it like you would you just basically measure out a grid. So you do like 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, and then break it down. So like everything and then be like a half an inch. Then you do a very light pencil, something like a 2H. That will get your line measurements. And then after you've drawn the image, you'll know where to make to fill in the pixel boxes, erase everything else out, and then do the black border around it all. Zoom in on the eye so I can get all these nice little details. And because this paper has a nice little texture, I just have to go in with a nice subtle dark, and it's going to give me all that nice dark texture that I want without having to spend hours and hours and hours to try to achieve realism. I like to say this is a poor man's realism, where you want it to look at somewhat realistic, but on a budget and fast. And as you work with color pencil on top of everything, do take your time. It does not need to be super rushed. This is a process that should be quick, but not super time consuming, but also you don't want to sprint through it and then smudge something that you probably didn't want to. Super Taco, holy cow. Yes, I actually do remember that name, and I'm not just saying it for the sake of saying it because it's such a unique name. Wow. Yeah. Oh, you did start your own channel. That's awesome. Yeah, 2 years ago was when I had the Mario bump, and then about a year-ish ago, I had the FNAF Poppy Playtime bump, and that really boosted me up to where I am now. Oh my God, 3 a.m. It's okay. My channel will always be here. I'm gonna say it's like Nick's, but if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I do apologize. My channel will always be here. Do not put your studies or good sleep habits in the way of that. It would just not sit well. So please do just get some quality rest because quality rest is a lot more important to your studies than actual studying is sometimes. As someone who is studying to be a teacher, I will tell you honestly, you might think it, but getting a good night's sleep also helps a heck of a lot. Okay. Oh, hold on. How do I do that? Okay. Right, and then we work up other eye. Giga, that's well, that's a bit of a stretch, but okay. Yeah, let's keep it family friendly, Giga. I mean, I appreciate the good joke, but draw the doctor. Ah, yes. Doctor is kind of a complicated character, mainly because the Doctor has lots of shadows attached to them. So, and it's also mechanical, which was a bit of a struggle for me when I did my drawing of the Doctor. So, yeah, I mean, have at it. If that's the things that you love, I always say if you want to grow as an artist, the fastest way is draw what you love. If you do that, you'll grow so fast. Lucas, I didn't find the first FNAF movie to be scary. But then again, I am an 80s baby, so I grew up on horror. Lots and lots of horror. I am a huge horror fan. I love just about any horror movie that's out there, except for a lot of the modern stuff, because a lot of the modern stuff doesn't actually tell a story. It just tries to get you to jump out of your wits as best as possible. Hi, Dragon Breath. Uh, I know that feeling. I do watch ASMR videos before I go to sleep. That's mainly because I am up into the wee hours of the night and I do work a full-time job outside of this. So I do understand I do understand that concept. And I forgot to add the white, and that is okay because I missed out. Sometimes I get into a groove and then I realize I did not actually add the white where it was supposed to be. Same thing here. But that's okay. These Prismacolor pencils, they are very expensive, but they are amazing for layering over, especially over alcohol markers. They will give you such beautiful blends and just cover everything. Springtrap, yes, it is you. It is Springtrap, Ronan. And I do really want to see this iteration in the new movie. I want to see I want to see Matthew Lillard as like a more decayed version. I'd love to see that concept. See how much they push that narrative. Don't be afraid to add little details like this. It might seem like nothing, but just a few little taps from a color pencil of some black gives that eyeball just that extra little thing. And to get rid of that harsh line, we just put a little bevel of color pencil on the outside, just give it that nice little fuzz, and just get once again, it just mutes it and gives that nice little three-dimensional. No erasing. That is an excellent challenge to do. And that is a great way to achieve that kind of concept, Raz, is look up a continuous contour line drawing. It is what we used in school when I was learning art uh, in college and in high school. It is a good way to achieve a really solid concept of line value and line structure. So yeah, if you're having that's actually something that's really good for a lot of people. If you're having problems finding shapes and stuff like that, continuous contour line drawing, it will make your art exponentially better. Oh, the second movie being a prequel. Well, they've kind of established everything it's in like for the backstory that they need. Um, so I don't know if they will. I'm pretty sure it's probably just going to be a continuation. I just don't know how much of. I know that Michael is coming back, and but I don't know. Like, is he going to unalive and be unalived at the end of the movie? Are they going to make, you know what I mean? Like, how much is that going to continue? Are they going to continue, like I said, like what narratives are going to be from the games and the books? Or is it going to be it's this new entity and this is just the way it is? So we'll have to see. I did enjoy the first movie. Uh, Carl the Cupcake I found to be very amusing to me, and it seemed to be a point of contention because the fans called him Carl, and I know he isn't. He's just, what you call it, the cupcake. But like, I remember when I was releasing the videos, people were like in the comments section going to war over it. Like, no, he's not Carl. He's this, and I'm just sitting here going, well, I mean, the fans call him Carl the Cupcake. Thanks, Lou. I really appreciate that. If you have any art questions, everyone, for all the couple people that have come in, if you have any questions, fire away. I am more than welcome to answer any art question, or if you just want to sit back and talk movies, anime, gaming, whatever, I am more than happy to do so as well. And now we're going to have to add a little bit brown here. Now, to achieve all those little bumps that you might see in mechanical, a really good way is to use a very faint marker. This one's almost dead, and that's great because it's gets me all those nice gray tones that I want. But to use small, finely used circular motions. And by doing so, that's where we get all those nice little bumps and ridges. And a very quick, cheap way to achieve that effect without having to sit there like this and having a colored pencil just dot in little bumps. If I can make it a cheap, quick hack, I will always try to do so because realism drains the ever-loving heck out of me. Okay, Lucas, thanks so much for stopping by. Hi, Life and Love, how are you? Could you draw any Mommy Long Legs from Poppy Playtime? I haven't actually drawn Mommy Long Legs, but I will put out a poll because I have the Minecraft movie coming out, so that's going to be super popular. And I'm assuming that based upon all the analytics that I've been running across behind the scenes here, that's going to be a really big hit. Maybe it won't, but I'll see how it goes. I do have the Steve drawing coming out on Saturday in 4 different styles. I think you guys will really like that. And so I can go back to it. I just have to see if it's something that the chat and the community desires. And as you can see, this is like a really cool, quick way to establish a lot of 3-dimensional depth, and you don't have to do a whole heck of a lot. So then after you layer the color across, it picks up all this nice gray that we weren't working on. So when we layer on top, boom, you got 3 dimensions. And then for that little extra punch, you take your dark and your light, and you just add it in. So I'll just take this little extra black. Just scrub in some extra darks here and there. Pop in some muted white. I'm not going too crazy because it is a mechanical character, so we don't want to pop the white unless it's a really strong punched white in. Tiaza, I'm so sorry. I don't know. That was my hands. I don't know what that means, and I do apologize. Tim, let's not do that, but cool. Thanks, O'Hara. I really appreciate that. If you have any questions, go feel free to ask. I am definitely here to help. And if, like I said, you want to just sit back, guys, and talk whatever you want to talk about, I am more than free. As long as it's family friendly, video game, art, movies, music, etc. Go right ahead. I have not watched the trailer, and I guess it came out today because you're like the several people have said it, and it would just be ironic if I actually, by happenstance, decided to put this out today. No, I haven't seen the second trailer yet. So after I get off this live in a little while, I will definitely go then check it out because it seems like that's why so many people wanted to see me do Springtrap on this live. And to be truthful, I had not played the games in a really long time. I played the first couple. I haven't played the newer ones, and whatchamacallit, but I did like the movie. I know that some people it was hit or miss, but overall fans had really liked it. But I want to see where they're gonna go with it, and I had yet to see the trailer, so now I'm like really intrigued because what happened in that trailer? Because there's a lot that's gonna be taken into account. So yeah, it's definitely like I want to see where they're gonna go with it now. Okay. Yeah, yesterday I was out and about. I usually take at least one night off away from doing work because I do work full time. So I do try to take a day off where it's a friends and family night where I don't do art, I don't do anything for my YouTube channel. It's completely just what can I do with my friends and my family. Hey, Shadow Milk Cookie, what's going on? Definitely, oh Harry. Like that was like the one thing where I almost got burnt out of YouTube. My first year, it's like you try to chase a lot of things. That's why I want to do these lives more because it's a great way to just interact with people, not just within my community, but develop new people that come to my channel. And I have a pretty good recollection of a lot of the people that come either to my channel or in my YouTube comments. It's something that I try to remember pretty well is who my regulars are. So on top of all that, this is just like a new way of developing not only new regulars, but to also talk about other things too and see what the interests of my community are. Hey, Powerful Huggy Wuggy. Ocean Vibes, thank you so much. If you have any art questions or if you just want to talk and chill, as long as we keep it family friendly, that is totally cool. All right. Now you shall take. Once again, this is how we're going to get all these nice little textures. You can see this is so beat up. It's so chewed to heck. The ink is really dying, and that is the best brush in the world because it's got all that texture. It's got all that life still left in it, and it actually brings new life into new ways because it can give me all these beautiful new styles of drawing, and while it still just has that last breath of ink left. So this Huggy Wuggy, this the sketch took me about an hour, which isn't too bad. Normally it would take me a little bit less, but mechanical, like FNAF characters, mechanical characters, they're not my strong suit. And I know you're gonna say, well, like, look at it, it looks nice. Yes, but it's a lot longer where other artists could probably do it a lot faster. I don't see mechanical shapes as easy. I see cartoon shapes and organic shapes a lot better. But that's every artist. Every artist is going to have like their strong suits, and every artist is going to have things that take them longer. Like Bob Ross could probably not paint certain things as well, but he could paint nature in a fantastic way. Evanation, holy cow, you were in my first live like 2 years ago, and I haven't seen you in the comments in a while. How have you been? Speedy Crowds, thank you so much. I have actually been doing art. I will be 42. I have been doing art primarily self-taught for about 30 something years with an 8 year gap. I used to do art all the time, and then when I got into college, it became a chore. And when I was in college, a lot of the concepts and things like I wanted to do comic book art, but that was very frowned upon in college. There were no real courses back in those days. You had to intern somewhere, you would have to go somewhere, and where I lived just wasn't really a viable thing. So you kind of had to just find other resources to learn things. I really wanted to work for Blizzard, and again, I didn't live near where Blizzard's headquarters were, so these things are just not necessarily viable for me. And I kind of fell out of love with art, but my niece was the one that helped me come out of it. She asked me to teach her how to do art, and as the rest we say is history. Oh, nice. What do you like to crochet, O'Hara? And this is like a really good painterly concept too to understand. Is like we've established this nice grayish dark that now we can sit and just apply a light variation of color over the top. And we get all these smooth blacks, whites, and grays. And then work back over it with more black and gray over the basic color. And then add little bits of color here and there as well. And as we can see, once we've connected these two eyes, Springtrap just becomes more and more to life before our eyes. Oh, okay, cool. Evan, I'm good. Channel's been doing really well, and yeah. What is chicken jockey? Huggy. And I'm afraid to ask. I am doing the Minecraft movie. I have Steve coming out in 4 different styles this Saturday. That's where I'll take one specific character and reconstruct them in 4 different ways. So you're going to see the original, you're going to see a drip, you're going to see an X-ray, and then you're going to see a horror. All in the Minecraft style. Oh, okay. Thanks, Trexus. I really appreciate it. Yeah, this is probably going to be a 2 live stream or maybe just a short video where I finish it up. I'll have to see because it takes significantly longer, and we've almost been at it for an hour now, but we'll see what we can accomplish. Powerful Huggy Wuggy. I have not. Several people have been asking, and sadly, no, I have not just yet. But after this live is over, I'm going to go and hit it up because yesterday was a family day where I was at with my family and friends. So, yeah, I did not get a chance to actually see it. I'm so shocked that it actually didn't come across my FYP on YouTube because, like, that would be something that's directly in my wheelhouse. The one thing that I love about alcohol markers when I'm trying to do like this kind of level of realism is that they just layer so well. I can go back continuously and just add these nice rich layers of color. Oh, well, oh man, I would love to see Mangle, how a Mangle looks too. It was really fun to draw Mangle. Oh, and O'Hara, I didn't think I said before, but if I did, thank you so much for thank you so much for the sub. SMV Labs, you made it. Yes, you did. You made it. Rest in time. But as I always say, my channel will always be here. So even if I am not, you can always find my channel. But thank you so much for stopping by. I do remember the comment saying that you would. Now, you might be seeing me pop these whites in, and you're thinking to yourself, like, wow, that seems like a really strong white color. But with metal, it reflects a lot. So once you start to encompass all this, it will slowly actually get muted. Thank you so much, Huggy Wuggy. What is your favorite drawing you have ever made? My favorite drawing I have ever made, I will pull it up for you. We just have to go into the large bastion of drawings that I have, and I can pull it out for you. Let's see which one it is. Nope, it's not this one. Although, all right, since we have some FNAF people, that was something I did in 4 different styles a while back. I also did Matthew Lillard, but I can see if I can find him. I did like the way that came out. And then that was my it was my first Springtrap. But as I am a huge Dragon Ball Z fan, I would say, if as soon as I can find it, because of course I can't find it when I'm looking for it. I always love this. That Broly drawing is probably one of my favorites, just in general, because I love Dragon Ball Z. I grew up with it when I was a kid. But let me see if I can find. But this is probably now, for those of you who don't know the game, it's Fallout, but this is probably my favorite piece. That's Marcus from Fallout 2, and that's the Master from Fallout 1. Amazing games. They're awesome. They're RPG meets horror meets a whole bunch of stuff. This is probably my favorite piece. And that's probably my favorite anime piece. And let me see if I can find my other Springtrap drawing for you guys, because that Springtrap drawing I really loved, and that's my Michael Afton. But I know it's here somewhere. Just have to find it. And here's my first Springtrap. That was the first Springtrap drawing that I did. It was in 4 different styles. I liked the way it came out because, it was able to showcase multiple things. But yeah, I've done a ton of 4 different styles. SM vibes. I would definitely say that I'm not a master at realism. I should say that I don't really enjoy it as much as some people would be like oohing and ahhing over. But how long did it take? Uh, I've always had a knack for just recreating what I see. Some people do, some people don't. Some people are really good with their imagination. I'm not an imaginative person. I can see something and I can replicate it. But outside of that, I have a lot of hard time imagining like drawing a tiger from imagination or a dragon. It's really hard. I still need a lot of reference. So some people can do that exceptionally well. That's not my skill. My skill is in replication. But I've only been actually back in art about 3 years now, almost 3 years. And it's like riding a bike. As you're young, it's going to be hard to learn to do anything realistic because you're really just trying to look at every little detail and how can you extrapolate that out to make it look like something that's real life. And that's a hard concept, right? Like you're trying to take something that's on a two-dimensional surface, make it look three-dimensional, and it has to look and feel because we as people, we see these objects, whether it's a video game or it's a cat or a dog, etc., a person, like they have intrinsic meaning to us. So if you screw it up, it won't look right. So it's more about just studying details, textures, like that's how you get really good at art. Like something I would do is I would just draw my hand. I have dozens and dozens and dozens of drawings when I was a kid of drawing hands because that's what I did. Sit on the couch while I was watching Dragon Ball Z, just sketch my hand real quick. But you'll get better doing stuff like that because you're studying all the little crooks of all these little lines in your hands. You're gonna all the little fingerprint details. As I got older, like the lines become more profound. All those things matter. They're details that might seem subtle, but that's the difference between hyperrealism and realism. Me, I like impressionism. Thanks, Vibes. It's a labor of love, I will say. I love the fact that everyone in my channel loves them, but I don't like doing them. It's just because they drain a lot. To sit and focus like this, my brain gets pretty fried. So, like after I'm done with this, I will sit on the couch and relax and probably watch an anime while I eat dinner. Where some people could just bang away because they love all the details, I have a hard time. That's where I struggle. What is your favorite anime? Okay. So My Hero Academia is an amazing, despite all of the negative fan service that surrounds it and negative aspects of the community. My Hero Academia is still amazing anime. So is Demon Slayer, but I like Demon Slayer more for its beauty and presentation, not just with the fight scenes, but for like the scope. So like the Munkin train arc where it's like they're doing like a 360 around the train, like that's that's a lot of detail. That's a lot of craftsmanship that went into that animation. Same thing with like Jujutsu Kaisen. I know it gets some like flack for the problems that happened at the end of season two, but I really love Baki, but like original Baki, where you can find them on the OVAs on actually on YouTube. You can find them. They were really, really good. I love Hajime no Ippo. That was really, really well done for the time. Of course, Dragon Ball Z, it's kind of like my introduction. Akira is still awesome by today's standards, and people use the bike homage way too much, and some people don't realize that it comes from Akira. Hi, Tina. I'm sorry I missed your first hi, and I saw it again, so I'm sorry. I tend to ramble, and when I do, I just go on these ever long tangents. This is, from what I remember, when where is it? Where is it? Oh, Huggy Wuggy. That's where it was. Huggy Wuggy. From what I can remember, this is an image that I pulled up, I think, from the third game, but I could be wrong because I just pulled it up as a random image and I like the way it looks the best. But if you're looking for a storytelling anime that is something that you can genuinely sink your teeth into, and you're looking for like a low key vibe, but something very thought provoking, I would highly recommend Death Parade. To me, that anime can hit really hard because you think it's just like a simple thing, and then all of a sudden it's a very short anime and it hits you like a truck. Erased was also really good. Hunter x Hunter, yeah, it was really good. I know I'm like, you're a shonen fan, of course you like this, but doesn't mean a shonen anime can't be well written or tell a beautiful story. I mean, what was oh, it's gonna kill me, the name of it. Not Inuyasha. What was the name of it? And I'm blanking off the top of my head. They just brought it to Netflix. A live action. That was the original was really good. No worries, SM vibes. Oh, Evan. So what motivated me to start my channel was Christmas. My niece asked me if I could teach her art. I had not done art. This was Christmas of 2020. I want to say one. Yes, it was Christmas of 2021. And she said, "Can you teach me art?" And I said, "Sure, no problem, sweetie." She was like young, really young at the time. And I leaned over to her mother, my sister-in-law, and I said, "I haven't done art in over 8 years since she's been born. I haven't done like sat down and drawn something." And she goes, "Well, looks like you're gonna have to start now." And so I took months getting back into the rhythm of drawing, going through practicing, working through some really boring drills, enjoying it more as an adult because I didn't feel confined to doing things the way textbooks and boring teaching methods that were antiquated told me to do so. And I learned at my own pace all over again. And I am having so much more fun now with art than I ever have. I think the one blessing of the internet is that we are learning that you do not need traditional teaching methods to learn to be whatever you want to be. Hey, Shayna, what's your favorite anime? No problem, Huggy Wuggy. I'm glad that you enjoyed the stream. Um, I have a love-hate relationship with One Punch Man, and that is the concept that At some point, like I was at the Sea King arc when I kind of just gave up on it. And that's, listen, to everyone, there's going to be animes that they like and that they don't like. It's not that I don't like it, it's more of a writing concept. And that is like at some point we have to get somewhere. And I feel like he's so OP that there's a lot of things that just he's either A not doing or B choosing not to do, but I'm like, you have to choose something at some point. I don't know, and that's just me. Maybe it's because I have very little time to devote to things, so if you don't grab me right away, I'm just kind of done. I might go back to it, but I don't know. Oh yeah, I love numerous different types of anime and different types of styles of writing in anime or comic. Like for instance, Invincible. I know it's not an anime particularly, but it's follows all the tropes of a shonen anime, but incredibly well acted. Like Solo Leveling, the acting in Solo Leveling is so good. Same thing in Invincible. The acting, this is why a lot of traditional actors are like, "Huh, you mean to tell me I can do this, make quality money and people will love and respect it?" Yeah, because if you're a good actor, you can just translate it to acting behind the voice. I know they're not always the same, but yeah. And it was good to see Glenn kick Negan's butt. My next stream, I try to plan them for each of one of my days off. If I don't finish this, I can set it up for Sunday. I'll see how I feel. That's probably going to be the plan, is where we finish maybe half of this, because I can't believe that we are a little over an hour in, and not to say how little we've come, but it's just, you know, maybe I'll do two streams a week where it's like 2 hours. I'll have to see because I do enjoy these kind of chats and meeting new people and answering a lot more questions. It's another reason why I wanted to do more lives is because some people don't feel they can either ask something live or get nervous asking something in a YouTube comment because then people can be critical. So you can ask it in a live and it doesn't maybe necessarily stay up forever, or maybe someone else had that same thing so they don't feel embarrassed or someone else asks. So another way maybe I can help people out. And also to showcase just how long the art process really is. Like I know this is hand drawn, it's not digital. If it was digital, I haven't learned digital yet, but I plan to, but you could probably bang it out a lot quicker. But that being said, you still need to know all these concepts. These are not new concepts. If you can take everything you're doing here and apply it to digital, you'll learn digital significantly faster. Hi, Evil Bendy. Cool, thanks. Would you rather gain strength or gain eagers? I don't know what eagers is. Thank you so much, Janet. If anyone has any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm here to help anyone and anyone on their art journey answer whatever question I can. Oh, thanks, Frosty. I really appreciate that. So then I think the real question then is, would I rather gain what type of strength and what type of excitement would you? Yeah, Kool-Aid. That would probably be a thing. Like, what type of strength and what type of excitement do you mean? And thanks everyone for showing up. I really do appreciate seeing a lot of new faces in the comments. It's really cool. It is kind of a unique concept for me streaming, so I'm getting used to all the little idiosyncratic things that go on with it. Thanks, yes, I really appreciate that. Vibes, here's the thing. You're gonna have to just realize that I've had people wish me unalived for some of the artwork that I've made, and that's kind of silly and stupid, but well, you just gotta come that if you create something, you're going to have people that like it, you're gonna have people that don't like it. The art community is very open and embracing to a lot of different people. You just gotta find your niche, and once you do, you'll find your community. You'll find what makes your people awesome. And I am pretty blessed that I have a very similar community across both my TikTok and my YouTube. So they do like the same things and that they are very supportive people. And whenever I see a small creator, I do try to support them as well. But if you're afraid of being hated, I know I can understand the territory. Critiques sometimes aren't the best things, but just realize you have to understand, is it coming from a place of hate or is it coming from a place of a critique? If someone's just crapping on your work to be a jerk, well, then they just have no reason to be in your space, and then just you can delightly delete their comment with glee and move on to the next thing. But if they're coming at you with a concept of, hey, nice drawing, but I think you may have messed this up, I'm not sure, or hey, I really love this, but I think you may have messed this up, then that's a place of a critique, and it's just them showcasing that they do like it, but they think it could be better. So it's something that you have to adjust to as any artist. That might not know it's, it is a bit jarring because nobody wants to hear that something they did is wrong or that they don't like it. But at the same time, it might be something you need to hear. So it is that fine line of, are they just trolling me? Are they just being a jerk? Or are they just trying to genuinely help me and they like what I did? Oh, thanks, Omega. That's really kind of you to say. There are a lot more artists more talented than I am, but I do appreciate the very kind words. And you know what the best part is, though, Vibes? If there are haters that are just coming after you, delete their comments, report them if they're abusive. I have never reported anyone for abuse, but I've deleted one or two comments. Or I've used it as a video to showcase, wow, what a POS they are. You know, if they're going to be a piece of garbage, then yeah, you're going and you poke comment on my stuff. Well, I'm going to show the world what a piece of garbage you are. And I have a couple of videos lined up because someone said something very insensitive to somebody, and I will definitely probably be posting that in the near future. Now, a good tip for color pencil work is one, make sure the paper is dry. Now, this is very quick drying, but I would just make sure that you just dry. If it's dry, it's cool. Hey, Kool-Aid. I'm not really one to just do shout outs. I would probably do it more with subscribers that I've known for a really long time. Like Evan has been in my channel for almost 2 years now. So I've actually liked some of his things that he's done. So I don't just randomly shout out to people. I am sorry. The more that I know somebody and the more that I'm connected to them as a subscriber of mine, then yeah. Awesome, go for it, Raz. If you want to at me, if you're going to put it in as a community post or any kind of post, you can, and I don't mind seeing it. I am not one of those people that, you know, if you take the time to at me, I will at least take the time to look at it. I might not do it right away, but I will look at it at some point. Hey, Ollie. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks, Vibes. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I'm just currently waiting for. I plan to watch Devil May Cry on Netflix, and I'm just waiting for Has Been Hotel series season 2. I'm shocked that we haven't really heard. All you hear is that it's done, it's finished, but I'd love to create the characters from that. So I'm currently waiting on that, but I definitely will do Dante within a few weeks because I loved the Devil May Cry series. Those games were awesome. You know what, Kool-Aid, you're probably just gonna get kicked now. You talking about Blue Lock the anime? I watched season one, I watched bits of season two. It became a little bit harder to watch season two because of the animation. It was just not up to par. And good storytelling, but once again, like the pacing, eventually you just I know it's a soccer anime, but any kind of anything that you do, eventually there has to be goals and resolutions. It's like that's just not even like that's like a writing thing. You have to have goals and resolutions. And I feel like Blue Lock, it was like the same thing. Like we know what they're there for. We know the stakes of it all, but at some point there has to be more. And I feel like I wasn't getting that. So I kind of stopped halfway. I'm currently watching Shangri-La Frontier, which I am enjoying. But that's mainly because I'm an RPG gamer by heart. He was just saying stupid stuff vibes. I don't have time for petulant childishness. I mean, I was cordial. I asked him once. He kept posting weird, stupid memes. I'm far too old to deal with the silliness of life. So I kicked him for 24 hours. And if I feel like it, I'll kick him the next time. Yeah, I'd never understand people sometimes with the silliness, but then again, it's everyone just looking for that troll. See, vibes, this is a perfect example. Someone's just going to be silly and just try to be trollish, but in the end, it doesn't win them anything because I can kick them. I control my channel, and if it's something like, "Hey, I think your artwork is crap," okay, I can deal with that. I don't really care about that. But if you're just gonna say stupid things to be like, "Oh, look, I got him. Look, if I say this silly thing in the chat, look what's gonna happen." No, like just behave like a normal adult. I don't mind. I love to say fun trolling things in a lot of people's uh, Twitch channels, etc. But it's because I'm usually a subscriber of theirs and I've been part of their channel for a long time and I've donated things like subs and things like that. So it's meant more as like a goof. But if you're new to my channel, and I know he is new to my channel because I haven't seen him in my channel prior to this live, you're just going to come out and then say stupid things and then use something that's racial in nature just for like, ooh, maybe I'll get a rise out of him if I say, can I say this? Like you're not even silly, you're just wrong as a person. Like there's different things you could have said. You just could have said loser. I don't care. You can call me a loser with all you want. Don't bother me none. I'll laugh my butt off. I think we're gonna finish up this little bit, probably be like 10 minutes or so, and then I think we will call it quits because the fatigue is starting to hit. Oh, really, Edwin? What's the manga about? Hey, Salazar. Thank you so much. What country am I in? I am in the United States of America. Living in the Northeast region. If you have any art questions, please feel free to ask whatever you'd like. Or if you want us to talk about movies, Anime, music, whatever, as long as it's family friendly, I am totally chill. Hey, Alicia, how are you? Cool. What kind of powers are we talking about? Are we talking more like when you say supernatural, are we talking um psychic, or are we talking like low functioning, high functioning powers? No problem, Cooley. Just keep it family friendly, all right? First and last time that I should have to mention it. Okay, so like, so we're talking like, uh, Mob Psycho. Have you seen Mob Psycho 100, the anime? We're talking someone like Mob's character, or like Akira, like where you can move vast buildings and stuff. Okay, yeah. See, I actually digged Mob Psycho 100, and that's just because every time you thought you had it finished, and every time you thought, oh, look, it's like things were resolved, there was a new thing that came along, but it wasn't necessarily a bad guy. And for those of you who haven't seen it, I'm not going to spoil it, but the whole show is an allegory for how you deal with like a panic attack and how you deal with anxiety and angst, especially with young generation, because it takes place in a middle school. I thought it was a wonderful play on writing. And you don't really notice it, but as an adult, maybe some of the younger people did, but as an adult, that's something like it really hits in a beautiful way where it's like, wow, yeah, they are a bunch of kids. And you know what? If you don't know how to deal with a panic attack, that's how it would happen, as a big explosion. Stanix, oh my God, I haven't seen you. How have you been? And my cat is coming to say hi. So if you hear her murp, that's her. Brady Bush, what's going on? It has been a while. So many new and like old occurring faces coming into the comments. It's like really nice. Yeah, it was this was a big request across a channel poll that I put out, and it was surprising just how far this was. Like people really want to see this one more so than any of the others. So yeah, I was genuinely shocked because I thought it was going to be Invincible or like a Poppy Playtime character, but no, it's like they went back for the OG. Yeah, cats are a lot of fun, Brady. They the best part is I do love dogs. I've had a lot of pets in my life, especially since I've been married to my wife, but um it's like any pet, they need a lot of attention. Especially cats, they can be either like no attention one day and then just like, don't leave me, I need you. And you're like, well, at least with a dog, it's like that all the time. You kind of come to expect it. And when it doesn't happen, you're like, huh. But with the cat, it's like some days they can just not give a hoot. And then all of a sudden they're like, you're my best friend ever. Huh. SM vibes. Yeah, Choxy actually is a was he still comments on it, and I comment on his videos. He was actually I inspired him to create his own channel, and now he's got like 900K followers. I mean, it's like the explosion that he's had. It's like so good. I'm like so proud of him because he was like, I'm not sure if I should like post my stuff. I'm like, just post it. Who cares? Like, have fun. Like, art should be about having fun. Like, don't give a crap what other people think. If you genuinely love something and you love the process of creating it, screw the haters. And he did, and God bless him. He just like burst into like just a huge amount of followers like within a year. I was like, holy moly. And we are actually planning a collaboration. It's just there's a timeline, but it's going to be a really cool piece. I've already finished mine and I sent it to him. And I will say no more because I do not want to blab more than I think I should have. Yes, Onyx. I think it's going to be awesome. It's probably just going to take him a couple of weeks because, he's a younger person and it's going to take time because of schooling and whatnot. But I think people will absolutely love the way the whole piece will look. I think they will just be flipped. Okay, Poop, you can go now. Try and come back in 24 hours. How's that sound? Have I ever watched Loki on the Disney Channel? I do not like a lot of what the Marvel Universe has become. Can I recommend something to draw? Draw what you love, Edwins. If you draw what you love, you will always be satisfied. Hey, GT. Hey, CJ, how you guys doing? If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I will try to help you as best as I can with any art question, or if you just want to chill out, talk movies, anime, or music, go right ahead, as long as we keep it family friendly. Thanks, GT. I really appreciate that. In the movie, I thought it was such a great acting job by Matthew Lillard. I think he was very underrated in his role, and I love how he actually embraced the fandom. It wasn't like some people sometimes do these horror movies, especially now because horror's become kind of like the niche thing. It's become like the trendy thing again. It's like they just do these movies because it's like, oh, I can do this movie and I'll make money. And no, like you either have to embrace the concept of what the fandom is about or don't. But don't half it because fans will know. But then again, Matthew Lillard was in the original Scream movie. What brand of markers would I recommend? Ohuhu. They are fantastic. I do not get paid for them to say this. They are what I use in almost every single video, unless it's a cheap versus expensive or just a test. But they are very affordable. They like for like 40 bucks, you can get a pretty good set that will cover just about everything you need for whatever you're going to try to perform. You will definitely get a good quality product. Oh, thanks, Stonix. You should listen. There have been times when I haven't loved a lot of my art, and Bob Ross, one of my biggest inspirations growing up, he never liked a lot of his stuff as well. There are going to be times when you just don't like your art. And it's not like, oh, you have to soldier through it. No, you can put a piece down. You can never work on that piece again. There's nothing wrong with that. Embracing the fact that it's okay to not like something and just start anew is probably the most healthy thing you can do for yourself as an artist. Thanks for stopping by, Evan. Yeah, I will take a peek at the trailer, Brady. But I make no promises. Hey, Rin, what's going on? Thank you so much. I appreciate the kind comment. Hi, Charlie. How are you? That's awesome. I am glad to hear that. I don't know why I made it sound German all of a sudden. Alrighty, what marker we're going to use next? You know what? I will do the teeth. I will do these teeth, and then I think I will call it. But we'll see. I seem to be just enjoying myself, so I'll go with the flow more than anything. What do you? What do I think will happen? Well, what I really, really hope is that Kissy Missy is still around after Poppy Playtime, around in Poppy Playtime Chapter 5. Because if she's not, I'm gonna be upset. Because I don't care what happened at the end. She better be around. Um, Outside of that, I don't know. It's interesting to see where they could go. I There's a lot of story there. It seems like there isn't, the nature of the game, like it's not a lot of story. There's a lot of story in the game. It's very lore heavy too. So if you don't know it, you have to almost study up on it. You have any drawing tips? I mainly draw with pencils. So, are you looking to draw, Charlie, are you looking to draw anime? Are you looking to draw a comic book? Are you looking to draw a cartoon or realism? And for a favorite FNAF game, I really don't have any specific favorite FNAF game. I played the old ones. I haven't played many of the newer ones, but I played the old ones like when they first came out, and I enjoyed them. But then I just got into other different games. The horror, like the concept of a horror game, doesn't. I don't know. It never really resonated. I'm more of a movie person. But like the jump scare tactic, because then I just don't want to move the character. I'm like, don't move, because if they jump scare me, then I'm just gonna be scared out of my wits, and I don't want to do that. But with a movie, you kind of have to go with the moment. Oh, so you're trying to draw realism. Okay. Um, so if you're trying to learn to draw realism and you're having trouble taking it to the next level, I'm assuming, what I would recommend you do is to study anatomy books. Um, there's a lot of anatomy books, but this is a really good one that I got in college, and it's called Albinus on Anatomy. And it breaks down everything from, let me check the pages. See, it breaks down everything from bones to lithographs of the skeletal, and you get everything. And then there's full musculature of how it connects everything. And it also breaks down how you should see it in movement and how the muscles expand. That is a really good way. Now, if you're having problems with details, details is more about, once again, studying whatever it is that you want to learn about. So if you really love portraits, well, then I would suggest the Loomis method. Hey, Nightlife, you made it. You made it just in time. Any tips for drawing anime? Hold on, let me see if I missed something, because Caleb, I actually did make one with a body. I actually drew almost every single FNAF character when the movie came around. But if you're looking to draw like portraits and get better at that, study the Loomis method. Proko has a great free video on YouTube about how to do the Loomis method. It's like 2 videos, and I want to say they're about 15 minutes apiece, and you will get better fundamental understanding of how to do portraits that way. Car, what special news do you have? Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that about the paper, Edwin. Any tips for drawing anime? So, with anime, it's anime characters have a very specific designed look. That's why we have the concept of anime eyes. They have a unique feel and a unique blend to them. So, what you're going to want to do if you're having just trouble drawing these characters, and it's okay to do this, it's okay to trace. It's okay to trace and to, by tracing, learn the shapes that are associated with those characters. Anyone who ever says at any time it's not okay to trace doesn't know what they're talking about. It is 100% okay to trace. Where I don't like is where we see a lot of these apps that come out where people trace things and then you see what their freehand is like, and their freehand is just awful because they don't know how to learn the fundamentals. But if you're just learning to draw the characters and you want to draw the characters, tracing is fine. You learn coloring that way. But there are very specific manga and anime characters because they have proportions. Marvel characters are about 6.5 heads tall. That's about a whole head taller. Their musculature is bigger. Anime characters, I think, are about 5.5 to 6 heads taller, which is about a whole head taller than what we are. But all of these ratios are different because all these characters are going to have different ratios. So it's also learning the anime style that you want. A MAPPA style is going to be a lot different than, for instance, an Akira Toriyama style. Can I draw a puppet? I did draw a puppet many, 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 many moons ago. I will see if I can find it. Trying to draw realistic eyes, but I almost always make them look like anime eyes. Okay, so good concept to understand is that, like, for instance, with the eyes here, because they still follow the same universal principles. Eyes are round. So let me pull up something that I did from college, and I'll show you if I can find it. All right, so this is a self-portrait when I did in college, but it still works, and I'll show you why. And I don't mind drawing over it because it's an old drawing that I think I got like a 90-something on. But the eye is round, right? We can see it's here, but we know it as an oval. But the eye is really round first, surrounded by a lid, surrounded by another lid. So think about it as a circle first, then with two connecting points, a lid and a bottom lid. There's also the lip of the lids that come up and around. Can you guys see this? Okay, you can. Like, I moved my camera over. So whenever we draw like a realistic eye, they're going to have different shapes. Everyone has different shapes depending upon. So some people have like a lower lid and a bigger upper lid, etc. And then here's the roundness of the eye behind it, the circle, the iris. So start off with a very loose circle. Connect it. Connect it. Draw your bottom lid. Draw your top lid. Draw your circle. Draw this. I'm doing this so super quick. But you gotta remember, there's the corneas that we have. So then as we do everything together, and we erase all this stuff out, also, the whites of the eyes are not white. We call it the white of the eye, but it's not white. It's actually gray. So you have to make sure that we add shadows. So when you look at your eyes and you see all these things, you'll notice that there is depth there. That's why, like, the top part, when we get to where the eyebrows are, up here, you have to shade here. You have to shade here, and you have to blend them across because it's a rounded image. Wow, that's amazing, Car. That's such fantastic news. Vibes, I will say, if you're going to make a video, it all depends upon what your intent is. If you just want to put something out there for fun, go right at it. But if you're looking to grow something and you really want it to hopefully take off because you're excited about it, make sure you give it a half a beat. I would look up vidIQ. They are what I use for my growth and the growth of my channel. It's an absolutely free service. They have it on YouTube. They basically teach you how to grow on YouTube. But if you're just looking to post something because you want it to be fun, then go ahead, just have a blast. Hi, Nightlife. I did Puppet a while back. I also did Puppet just recently. So I will have to see. I don't know if I plan to, but I will see. Okay, and anytime, Charlie. I'm glad I can help. Can I draw Toy Bonnie? I did Toy Bonnie in 4 different styles. So let me go back to my sheet of characters that I've done from the from the Five Nights at Freddy series. No, that's a different one. Yeah, I think I've literally done every Five Nights at Freddy's character, but let me take a peek. Where So Nightlife, that was Puppet. So I know that you want just so you can see Puppet. Caleb, you notice I didn't answer or respond to the comment because we try to be not be too silly here. Oh, that was the Mangle, so I can't wait to see Mangle. Ah, and here's Toy Bonnie. Hey, Huggy Wuggy. Kayla, this is like the second warning. I don't want to have to boot somebody. We just try to keep things chill. If you don't like it, that's cool. Channel activity. Ah. But yeah, that's the Toy Bonnie. Like I said, I've done so many different characters. But we are almost in the home stretch here of what I think will have to be a two-parter just because this is taking not longer than I expected, but just more because so many new faces and a lot of fun and intriguing questions and really just fun dialogue overall. No, I don't know what Dandy's World is, Charlie. I have no idea who John Pork is, Evan Nation. Uh, who is he a YouTube creator? Did he? But if it's something salacious, meaning something of an adult nature, I wouldn't put it in the comments. Oh, okay. I can Google it. Fire away, Nightlife. If you think that I haven't drawn it, fire away. I have not drawn Wizard Bonnie. I actually don't know what that variation is, so I have to look it up. What game is that from? Oh, Withered Bonnie. Oh, yeah. I haven't actually. The problem is every time I thought about doing the horror characters, I'm like, they look like the Withered characters, so I just wound up doing a horror in like my own iteration. Or just not doing it at all, mainly because Withered takes so much longer to draw, and with working more than almost 50 hours a week between my travel and everything, it becomes really hard, almost darn near impossible, to try to do some extra detailed stuff. Like I'm foregoing drawing a 4 different style series for this live because I would rather do a live than I would put out a video that may or may not, whatever, do a certain way. Okay, I'm gonna say that that is for this little session quits. My notion is I'm probably going to finish this on Sunday. I will put a poll out to see what time, but I'm gonna say 4 o'clock. Yeah, I will book the next one for Sunday at 4 o'clock. Thank you so much, everyone. I do appreciate this. It was 2 hours, but 2 hours of fun. I could sit here for 4 hours and do this, but I am hungry. I'd like to just grab a bite to eat. I will also work on other content afterwards. I do appreciate all the fun questions that we've had. If you have any questions or if you ever want to post something, you can always feel free to at me. I always love to see what you guys produce. Thank you all, and I'll see you guys on the next video.